Hello, fellow tourists. My name is Josh, and welcome back to another episode of Dr. Stone. We have officially reached the halfway point of part 1 of 3 of Dr. Stone, the final season. 4. Yes. Okay, so last episode was kind of a silly episode. It was very much needed, because we have Luna now. Not really on the side of the team of science. They're not really on our side yet, but I do say yet. I do think she's going to defect from the Japanese team of science, from the American team of science, just because it doesn't seem like Xeno's the best leader. I mean, she was very amazed with the ice cream that Senku made, and like Senku, he knows that a way to people's hearts and their loyalty is through their stomachs. I mean, with the ramen all the way back in season 1, the cotton candy. Like, he knows what he's doing. But the biggest revelation that happened last episode, other than the fact that Stanley is going to potentially snipe, I hope he doesn't, Taiju, is that Dr. Xeno is Senku's inspiration. Dr. Xeno, back in the day before the world was petrified, inspired Senku to become a scientist. So that's where the episode ended. I just want to get into it. I saw Evie, he DM'd me, he said this is his favorite episode of the season, which I feel like every episode is the best episode of the season so far, but he left barely anything to talk, like, because if you want, down in the Discord link down below, you can have discussions, and I'll read some of those discussions, your questions and thoughts after the episode, and usually Evie sends me like his thoughts with the spoiler text, so I read them after. But he said he had nothing. It's just this episode. It's just nothing. So I'm just nothing in terms of. I'll just take that as speechlessness, honestly. So I just want to get into this. So enough rambling. Let's do this. The two scientists. Okay, it's a flashback episode of Byakuya. Please. I'm ready to cry. On command.
I didn't know you could read English. That's amazing.
I can't even read that.
But not quite.
He's already.
Sending that message all over the world. Yep.
Did Xeno reply?
I'm basically a science spammer.
So that's how he knows? I thought he just found one of Xeno's, like, I don't know, like a research paper. If Xeno actually replied to him, oh my god.
Got a question from a kid in elementary school.
His name is Senku, huh?
Oh, I can't wait for them to see just how. Oh boy, let's see it. Yeah, that's what I expected. Okay, I can see why Xeno would respond now.
Oscillating component of the firing pressure. I managed to get the margin of error on the intermediate frequency oscillatory combustion down to
this makes me
7% by
smile
running a
so
computer
much.
simulation.
I don't understand any of it, but it makes me
There's no
smile.
way in 10 billion years.
Oh, look at it. Oh, dang, so he was. He's not old. He's 20. Okay. So be about 26. 27. He's
Really
late
did,
20s
Senku.
now.
You gotta reply, and it's even from a real-life NASA science person, too! Simmer
They're so cute.
For reference, the nozzle needs to be made of niobium alloy.
Oh,
I
Xeno.
suspect your
Dr.
efforts are being led
Senku.
wildly astray by faulty data. Science is elegant. Signed, Dr. X.
No wonder why Senku looked up to
Well done, time
him.
to chow down.
Yes!
Now skip the waterworks and give me the goods already. I need that magic code.
My baby.
We'll forge our way across 2
And he's
million years of human history.
Oh,
From the ground
come on. Okay, so he has to tell him that it's him, right? What is this? It didn't explode. Yeah, Evie, I see what you mean. This is the best episode of season 4. It's got me. Oh my! I'm gonna be sore from smiling this entire episode.
Science is power. For example, I trust you don't need me to tell you that your little rocket and a ballistic missile are fundamentally one and the same. With the power of science,
Okay.
a knowledgeable man could guide the ignorant masses to truth and rule over them completely.
Xeno, I'm 12, or I'm
Make
10.
Science a rather elegant power, Dr. Senku.
Nah, world domination crap doesn't move me one
Okay,
bit.
never mind. They
Some
did
stuff
have
is boring. I wanna
semi-falling
uncover all the
out.
secrets, and that includes everything in the cosmos too.
Oh, hey, Xeno.
Yes.
What would you do if you were sent back in time to the Stone Age?
Ah, Byakuya's right there.
I'd create scientific weapons from scratch and rule as a dictator.
And you're showing the moon behind him.
I'm 10 billion% sure.
Alright.
Greedy bastard who literally wants to know everything about everything would show up.
Senku. Alright, yeah, no. It's best not that you tell Zeno that you're the guy that he was emailing all those years
That
ago.
wouldn't change anything. I would have no choice but to annihilate this person.
Dude.
Battle for the Stone World. It would allow you to keep the temperature in the chamber under 60 degrees Celsius.
They're still
Meaning,
talking.
Theoretically speaking, that homemade rocket of yours could be loaded with all manner of biological and chemical weapons.
Dude.
Everything means everything.
Senku was traveling the world too. Oh my goodness. This was a very active 14, 16-year-old. Is that why Senku and Xeno haven't technically met yet in the Stone World? Because Xeno would recognize him? Yeah. That's why we've been keeping them apart. Well, the show has.
What's up?
Nothing.
They had a telepathic understanding of each other now. So they technically met, but no words were exchanged. That's half the episode. The night before. Is Senku emailing him about the swallows?
A kid from Japan.
I'm so curious now when Xeno and Senku meet in the present day. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good.
Just a slight ion outflow in response to nitric acid.
UV radiation?
Okay, so that's how Xeno might have known about the nitric acid.
Electromagnetism.
Impossible.
We're making gasoline out of plastic bottle caps today.
Ah,
Normally
the
we would use
gasoline.
something super porous like zeolite. Let's try the swallow wing. See if it works as a substitute.
This is it, Senku!
Drink this love potion.
Research.
It's gonna happen any minute now. So what's Xeno doing on his side?
Everything.
Military.
It was my understanding that today's
Stanley.
event was just supposed to be a DARPA
Right.
tech demonstration. But if that's
Yeah.
really true, then why invite soldiers from special forces like me? It's so suspicious I can practically feel my asshole puckering.
Geometric analysis using glass wool.
He's so much like Senku. Like the
Enough
I don't know,
of the
those
nerd
eyes are
talk,
very
Senku.
like the way like that
Just cut to the
expression.
chase.
Their brain waves. It's rather elegant.
Ah, so they knew they had to keep thinking.
Still alive.
You're saying there's still a chance of survival if you can somehow force yourself to stay awake?
So they knew. That's how they stayed awake. That's how Luna. Okay,
Miss Luna!
that's how Luna
Got you a little
knows.
gift that I think
Who
would
are
be
these? Like,
absolutely
okay,
lovely on you.
who are these people? Like, what?
It's a ring.
I understand everyone else why they're here.
She's not the type to be impressed by a flashy
Who
display.
who are these guys? Are they like the sons and daughters of someone?
That light.
So everyone here knew. That's why they're awake. That makes sense.
I'm sorry. I'll wash it later.
He ate it? What's that gonna do? Does he have a mark on his tongue? No, because it wouldn't be affected.
Damn it. I'm trapped and immobile.
That's terrifying.
No way! I'm a capable, cool-headed woman! It's my destiny to find myself a capable man for the ultimate power couple!
Okay, so she's definitely some. I wonder whose daughter she is.
So let's do this! I'm Luna, a capable woman! I'm Luna, a cool-headed cow! I'm Luna, a capable woman!
Okay, I like Luna. She's funny. And these guys are gonna be thinking of Miss Luna.
I'm used to staying awake without moving for days on end.
His cigarette.
This is no different than
Right?
the time I've spent sniping.
His cigarette kit? Interesting. I don't know if that's supposed to be relevant or probably not.
seconds. As long as I can remain conscious, there's a chance for revival.
The music!
Eventually managed to revive myself. If there are any scientists around at that time, I'm certain that's where they'll gather.
Oh, what about killing them, huh? You gonna kill the
It's
scientists?
not fate, or even coincidence. Rather, it's a consequence of pure necessity.
This music's so good! The episode's gonna end when they wake up.
Of science!
Don't end. I know it's gonna end, but don't end. Best episode of the season by far, and that's saying something. This season been peak. This might be one of the best episodes of the series. That could be recency bias. Oh my god. All right, guys. Dr. Stone peaked. I'm gonna have to stop watching here. That was the best episode of the series. I don't know how. I don't know how else we're gonna get over it. There's no reason to keep watching, honestly. Oh my god. I love that episode. That was so good. Oh, Evie, I understand why you had no words. Oh man, how do I even start this? Okay. It's gotta take a minute. It's gotta take a minute. Yeah, that episode was great. I feel like this episode answered all of the questions that I can. I'm trying to think of like if I had any questions that were not answered in this episode for this season. Obviously, like the origins of the petrification beam, why man and the moon, that wasn't answered, but like everything that we've been introduced to in this season, I feel like I got everything. Even some of the questions, I feel like I think Evie asked me this. Yeah, because everyone else is manga readers. I think Evie asked me this, and he asked me something like, he wondered what Luna. Well, okay, a little context. So, like, we were talking about the people that were awake. So, Stanley, Xeno. Well, those are really the only two that we knew. But they seem to have, like, this particular set of skills. Like, Zeno's the scientist, that's why he stayed awake. Stanley's the military man, that's why he stayed awake. And Evie, I think he asked me, like, he wonders what Luna is good at specifically. Like, why did she stay awake when everyone else also, like there's so many people that are asleep right now. And now we know it's not that she has a special skill. It's just that she heard that she has to stay conscious, and two, she has to find a fabulous guy, a capable and fabulous guy. Oh, I like Luna. She's funny. I mean, I could see it getting annoying if it's like if they keep running the same joke into the ground for too many times in a row. But I think so far the 2 episodes that we've had her in, the joke has worked, and I like Luna. She's funny. For now, I like her. Let me go back really quick. I just remember. I think that was just in like her head, like her capable, fabulous guy. I think that was just like what she wanted them to be. Yeah, I don't think that's anyone. I feel like Luna has to be like the daughter of someone like really important. Obviously not important now, but important back in the day. As then the 2 guys, Carlos and Max, I feel like they also have to be like the sons of someone important. It's because like, why are they there at that meeting? Seems to be like a very selective meeting with Xeno being the lead on the Swallow thing, which was they were gonna go public with it. Stanley military, and then like everyone else dressed in suits, like special service. Which I guess that's the woman that we saw that was eating a lot. That she's like intimidating again. I think she's special services, like FBI, maybe CIA. And then the guy, what's his name? I don't think we got his name yet. The woman and the guy, I don't remember if we got names for them. I need like they need to be like, I need to get more screen time with them. I'm gonna remember their names. They both look special services. So Zeno's got like, he like from what it sounds like, he doesn't have a lot of people, but he's got like very specialized people against a whole bunch of teenagers. Oh man. So yeah, we got the answer as to why everyone stayed awake and why so many of them were able to stay awake, because it was Senku and Taiju. Senku, Taiju, and was it Tsukasa? No, I think Tsukasa they used the revival fluid on. So Senku and Taiju woke up naturally. They had to have the bat poop on them, the nitric acid. But they woke up without any special alcohol fermentation. And it was, I think it's only those two that we know of on the Japanese side of things that woke up that way. Whereas everyone that's awake on America, they just stayed conscious, and that's why it's sure there might be like a couple people out there spread throughout America who have stayed conscious just out of sheer luck, or statistics, really, not luck. Statistics wise, there's going to be someone like Senku that's like either counting or just doing something to keep themselves busy. But like these people, like Stanley probably could have done it without knowing, but the way he reacted was like, so all I have to do is stay conscious. All right, I know how to do that. It's just a sniper mission. So I feel like there's a very real possibility that if they weren't warned, a lot of the people that are awake now would not be awake because they made the active decision to stay conscious. Oh, that's so good. And I was gonna scratch something off of my list to talk about, but no, I haven't even talked about anything on the list. Oh my god. So the swallows, Dr. Xeno was also researching. I love this episode. Did I say I like this episode? I love this episode so much. The parallels between Senku and Xeno are so good. I thought little Senku, last episode, he just found an article that inspired him. But no, he was already working on science. And not only did Byakuya give him everything, that man sold his car. To like fund Senku's science experiments. So like not only did he have like the financial support of Byakuya, but he also had the mental support of Xeno. Like Xeno, I thought it was just a research paper. No, Xeno was constant back and forth with this kid, teaching him so much. So a lot of what Senku knows, Xeno probably taught him. And I'm sure like that helps Xeno too. I mean, I guess like no, yeah, Senku did tell Xeno about the birds, right? So good. I love that. Like, because Xeno knew that Senku was younger. And I love that he, at least from like what I understand here, he never looked down on Senku. It was never just like, yeah, I'm teaching this kid science, or like he's just a kid. I feel like he sees him as an equal, even like as a 10-year-old. And like I love that look that Xeno had in the beginning of the episode when he's emailing Senku. And like he just looks like he's content. Like, he's like, I'm typing out my answer to him. It makes me believe that he really loves science, to take the time and legitimately answer this boy, and not in a way that's like, all right, here you go, dear, this is how you do it. No, like he legitimately answered him, gave him advice, gave him the knowledge of the tools. He didn't give him the tools. Byakuya gave him the tools, but he gave him the knowledge of the tools. So he fostered maybe not just as much. Byakuya gave everything to Senku, but he fostered a lot of Senku's scientific prowess. And I love that I feel like he just saw Senku as an equal, and it was never. I don't think I ever got this like feeling or kind of like aura that he looked down on Senku, or he's like, he's just a kid. I feel like he really respected Senku. I love that. That's, oh my god. Oh, if Gen, I understand, Gen. I need the what if. This is the what if I need. I need the what if Gen told the truth. My leader is Senku Ishigami, and we come in peace from Japan. And I wonder, does Zeno remember Senku after all these years? Sorry about that. After all these years, does Zeno remember Senku, and does he still see Senku as someone, like as an equal? If so, that's probably dangerous. Or does he see it? No. Either way, there's like, either way, it's not gonna end well. Just because rival scientist, I will defeat or kill, eliminate, so I can rule the world. So Xeno wants to rule the world. It's probably because it's interesting because like I feel like you have to have like a certain kind of arrogance to believe that you can rule the world, and like Xeno is. I just realized I hope we get something with Tsukasa. I hope Tsukasa gets a little more screen time this season, because that's exactly what Tsukasa feared last season, or he was the villain. He did not like he feared men with less than what's the word? Less than more worthy? Not worthy. I've been reading a lot of Thor books, so worthy is like swimming in my head. With less than good intentions would create weapons of science to rule the world, and that's exactly what Xeno wants to do. So I hope Tsukasa is on his way to go defeat Xeno, but I wish this was like a Senku and Tsukasa villain. I don't think you could really work Tsukasa in until now, or at least until he figures out Zeno's motivations. So I think kind of interesting if it was. I don't think they're going to do it just because Tsukasa's kind of been sidelined ever since the end of season 2. But it'd be interesting if this was a tag team villain, because I feel like every season it's been like a Senku. Oh, it makes sense because Senku's the main character, right? It'd be interesting if this was a tag team villain. I guess Hyogo was a tag team villain, but this is exactly what Tsukasa was afraid of, what would happen, like with people in science, and this is what he's now guarding against when he's on Senku's side. It's gonna be. I hope it's gonna be an interesting interaction between the two. And now I'm just equally, or not equal. I am so much more excited for Senku and Xeno to face off against each other. Because at first I was like, yes, science battle. This is something new. Like every season of Dr. Stone has been something new. Like season 1 was science versus nature. Season 2, science versus strength. Season 3, science versus cunning, or street smarts. And season 4, science versus science. And then I'm assuming like when we get to Zamoon, it's going to be like science versus sci-fi. Or just like advanced science, modern day science versus advanced science, something like that. So every season's been something new. Like, so I was already excited that we're gonna get like someone that's on an equal, if not higher level playing field as Senku when it comes to science. And now it's like the personal matter. Oh God, the personal matter. I do not want him to be the father. Whatever, because that was a theory I had. If you haven't seen the rest of like the other discussions for Dr. Stone that I've done, I recommend you go check out those reactions. I have the playlist. You can watch it all the way from episode 1 to now. But I had this theory that like, is Xeno Senku's dad? Just because the hair and mannerisms are very similar, but I think that's just the contrast against Senku in terms of like they're very similar, but this is the paths that they took, the different paths that they took. Like if Senku was a little more, what's the best word to put this? Like arrogant or egotistical, maybe. I don't think Senku has an ego. Maybe he does. I like a small one, but if Senku were like selfishly egotistical, this is where he would have gone in terms of Xeno. But I think that's why like they have so much of like, the similar characteristics, is so that the audience sees how much of Senku is in Xeno, but like how much of Xeno's way of thinking corrupts that innocent view of science in the world. Because Senku just wants to know it all. He wants to understand the world's secrets, but he doesn't want to do that for like any malicious things. He's curious. He wants to know. And Xeno is just out here like saying like, hey, if I get the chance, I'll rule the world. Why not? Oh man, we do know Xeno was working on some kind of Project Helium, which I don't know what that can be. I don't think it was explained in this episode. I don't think it had anything to do with petrification, because Xeno seemed very confused with petrification. So I wonder if Project Helium is going to be how he starts to rule the world in the modern day and age. I don't know. And then the stone, I never questioned it because I just thought like, oh, they turned to stone, right? But I feel like they're making it they made it a point this episode to say that the stone that encases the swallows and now the people, it's unlike any mineral that has ever been seen. So it's not natural to Earth. That, or it's a new one. So could it be aliens? Now, I would be surprised if we go aliens. Science versus aliens. Now that's sci-fi. I don't know how to feel about like aliens. I don't think they're gonna go that far. But it's a new mineral, a mystery mineral, unknown by like the best scientists with all the equipment. I love that we get to. It's just so much stuff to love about this episode. I love that we got to see like these scientists, like with unlimited budget, they could do anything and everything. They're doing every test possible. They're running they're doing whatever they can, right? And like, oh yeah, I have no idea what this could be. It's completely new. And then Senku over here is in his bathtub. He like drops it and is like, so it does sink. Like they're both doing, both groups are doing the work to figure out what this thing is. I just love how Senku, because he doesn't have he has a lot of resources, but he does not have like the best of the best resources. So he's just making do with what he's got. He's like, okay, so it can't be this rock. It can't be this rock. It can't be this, or it could be this rock, maybe. But like, they need no more tests. I love that. That's so funny to me. I love the concept. I love this show so much. It's episodes like this where I can appreciate. I appreciate science. Like the show makes me appreciate science and the steps of the scientific method. That's why I love this show so much. Oh my god, this show is so good. So yeah, I feel like the mystery mineral that's gonna come in clutch, but probably until we start facing the Y-Man. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite episode of the season, and it's probably a contender for best episode of the series. I mean, we got Byakuya in there, so that's already like peak. Right? I'm sorry, rest of the season, but there's just nothing you can do. Byakuya was in this episode. We peaked. All right, the season cannot get any better. I love Byakuya's interactions with Senku. Like Senku is so cold to him, but like they know that they love each other. That's so sweet. I find that very sweet because like Senku, he's not a very like emotional guy. Like he does have emotions, but he doesn't wear them on his sleeve. You have to kind of you have to know what to look for when trying to like pinpoint Senku's emotions. And like, so like, he's not gonna say like, thanks Byakuya, I love ya. But you know he does. You know he loves Byakuya. And the Byakuya like will always be there to foster Senku. To foster his love for science. So right now I'm just going through right now I'm just going through the discussions, and Evie just said that this is his favorite episode of season 4 so far. Nothing else or let's see. I don't really have any comments though. It was just really good. And then in the Discord, once again, you can join that in the link below. We have Hamilton, Dr. Stone rambling, a new episode. First, I want to tell Josh that you can tell, or you can just call me Alex. Okay, all right, Alex. Anyways, about the episode, I don't know how I didn't notice before, but the text on Senku's computer isn't fully. Oh, okay. I'll save that after. I have one more point that I want to. The text on Senku's computer is in fully English. Like the whole email at the beginning of the episode is in English and it isn't just Japanese with an English caption over it. Same thing with the signs we see in modern America. Just found that cool. That's a really cool attention to detail. Let me go back to Senku's computer. I feel like it was just like really low quality. Let's see. Yeah, that's not like. I guess it kind of looks like English. ID print. But man, that is... I cannot read us. I can barely read what's on that computer. I like that, the attention to detail, that like everything is in English. And like when in America, everything's in English. And that's probably why the Japanese is like here. Even though like even though like when this originally would have aired in Japan, like of course like it's in Japanese. Why do the Japanese need to have like this kind of Japanese text box? Because everything else is in English. And yeah, you're right. Everything in when Senku's in America, everything, all the signs are in English. That's cool. I didn't realize that. Yeah, no, everything's in English in the United States. I like that. That's a really cool attention to detail. Like they didn't have to do that. I feel like most animes don't do that. That's a good attention to detail. Just going a little bit above and beyond. Excuse me. Like the whole email at the beginning of the episode is in English and isn't just Japanese with an English caption over it. Same thing with the signs we see in modern America. Just found that cool. I am so happy with how they did Senku and Xeno's relationship flashbacks because they are so cute. Right? Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that. I also hope that the further explanation of the petrification makes people have less questions. Since season 1, I've always giggled whenever someone would ask about how Senku woke up without alcohol and that stuff. Yeah, I feel like that's something that you tend to forget. I think I even forgot that. I also loved the way they did the tie back to the beginning of the anime. Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, so I'm just gonna have to cut your rambles into pieces. Yeah, so Senku and Senku's relationship is much more wholesome than I thought it would be. I just thought it was gonna be this thing where it's like, oh yeah, I found this guy's articles on the internet. I like his style a lot, but no, they had like this back and forth relationship, and like I said, like I feel like Xeno really looked to Senku as an equal, not just like this kid that he can mentor. He was adorable. Yeah, so the petrification beam, I feel like that's just a fact that is very quick to go over people's heads, and I think including mine, because I forgot. I'm pretty sure at the beginning of this season I forgot, and then someone in the comments told me that like there's 2 ways to wake up. One is with just the nitric acid, and you're with your mind thinking. If your mind is not active, then you need to have the nitric acid and alcohol. That's something I forgot. Because I think they mention it in season 1. And I don't know if it's relevant in seasons 2 and 3 that much, because of course they have the miracle cure, or the miracle fluid. So it's not. It's something that I very much forgot at one point, but now it's like in the forefront again. I love that detail. I think I asked this a while ago, but I wonder if the author knew that he wanted to have 2 ways for people to wake up, just so he can have this when he was first writing the series, like from the beginning. If like this is like this plot point is something he thought about early on in the series. And then let's see. I also love the way they tied back to the beginning of the anime. It's great because it's like they could have just stayed in Zeno's perspective. Other than showing like Senku experimenting with the bird wing, right? I don't think we saw that. I don't think we saw that specific scene back in season 1. So you did like learn a little bit of what Senku was doing. Like why did this kid have gasoline in this really interesting looking contraption back in season 1? It's because he's experimenting with the birds. I don't remember, but I don't think we saw like the bird wing. But like other than that, you don't really need to have Senku's perspective. But by putting it there, the audience knows petrification is extremely close. So when you cut back to Zeno, it's like a ticking time bomb. You were just waiting for it to happen, and you know it's like any minute now. I think that's like just really great way of like putting a timer and stakes without telling you that there's timer and stakes. Also, I hope you guys see why I say Stanley and Xeno are a little romantic. Yeah, I was going to mention that. The way that I feel like the way that Stanley kind of like stood over and like he's kind of touching Xeno a little bit, like on the shoulder, not super hard. But let me see. Like the way they were petrified together. Yeah, okay. And Stanley protecting Xeno as soon as he saw the light. Yeah, okay, that too. Just my thought though, since it has been confirmed. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I was going to mention that because last episode, Alex kind of hinted at a little bit in his ramble Q&A discussion that Xeno and Stanley might be romantically involved, might not be. And I think this episode kind of continues that, because last episode I don't think we really know anything about Xeno and Stanley. This episode you get to see a little bit more of their interactions, and he's right, Stanley was very quick to put himself in front of Xeno as soon as he noticed the beam. I'm just rewatching it right. I'm just rewatching the scene right now. Oh, there's just something about Dr. Stone, man. But yeah, as soon as he grabs Xeno immediately. So yeah, I think there's something there, and I feel like this isn't the first time. I thought this might have been like their first meeting. Definitely not. Obviously, look at the way he grabs Xeno. What the heck? Why is there stats? I don't want stats for nerds. Get off. Get off my screen. The way he grabs Xeno, obviously, it's like, why would someone you've just met do that, right? And then when Xeno was talking to the the FBI, potentially people funding them, Stanley kind of like made a quip that like implies that, you know, just get to the point, you know, like Stanley has seen this side of Xeno before. And just from your discussion, I'm going to assume that everything else from here on, it's not like explicitly stated within the manga. Like we might get more scenes like that. You know, like these small scenes that imply something but it's never confirmed. We might get more scenes like that, but we don't get confirmation. I think that's very common. I think that's very common in anime, in Japanese entertainment in general. Like unless it's like specifically a yaoi or a BL, I don't feel like a lot of shows or manga explicitly state if their characters are gay or not. Especially shonen. I'm trying to think like in shonen, like specifically. I think in My Hero, is Toga confirmed to be bisexual? I don't remember. And then My Hero, I think I heard Magna. It was the Magnet dude. They were transgender, but I think that there was either a mistranslation with the anime that got their gender wrong, or like the anime just kind of skipped the fact that they were transgender, or they omitted that. I don't remember exactly what happened. We got it in a comment back when we were doing My Hero Academia reactions with Micaiah. There was a comment I think it was a comment that stated it, but I forgot exactly what the anime omitted. So I think My Hero kind of has that representation, and they don't like shy away from it too much. But I'm trying to think of like other big shonen. It's just because Dr. Stone's a shonen. But I think a lot of shonen anime kind of like don't, like they'll imply it, and like the author might want this to happen. Like they might want the audience to like, okay, yes, they are in a relationship. I can't say though, for some reason. kind of Attack on Titan, a little bit, not really. Yeah. I know some of my viewers haven't seen Attack on Titan, so I'm not going to say. But people that do know, people that know, you know. But yeah, I feel like that's especially a thing in shonen anime. So I would say that they're, yeah, I would say that they're confirmed, and just not confirmed. I think ever since Alex pointed it out, like I kind of see it within their mannerisms, the way they talk to each other. It's just they're not. If the anime confirms it, you know, if the manga didn't confirm it and the anime confirms it, respect to the anime. I don't know if they're gonna go. I don't know if they're gonna do it. I don't know if they're gonna go for it, but respect. But I would say confirmed, and I think it is interesting to have a villain couple. How many shows do you get? How many movies, how many shows you get that has a villain couple? I feel like that's not a very that's not a big thing. I think you can capitalize on that. Lastly, the final scene hit so hard after years of waiting for it to be animated, and that was so perfect. It made me so hyped up. The last scene with Xeno and Senku waking up. I knew that was going to be the end. I knew that was going to be the ending shot, because they are paralleling themselves so hard. Or not themselves. The show is paralleling them so hard. I knew that the last shot of this episode had to be them waking up at the same time. And this implies that they woke up at the same time. So Xeno and Senku Xeno has been up and at 'em for about 2 years, or just the exact same time as Senku. And this is how much he's been able to get. With his limited manpower, he's able to get this far. Wow. That's amazing. But I mean, also, like, Xeno is not waging wars or fighting. Xeno is not fighting wars. That was an amazing last shot, though. This episode. I hope so. The Evie continues off of what Alex says in this Discord discussion. I've always found it weird how people don't realize that wasn't the petrification stuff explained in season 1. That is because they stayed conscious the whole time. This episode was fantastic, though. And then Alex continues, on God, some reactors I've watched miss such big things, and it's like, did you literally tune the whole episode out? Okay, yeah, I mean, like, as someone who's a little guilty of this, I do get it, just because season 1, especially, like, if you're watching it week to week, and you don't, like, go back and rewatch it, because I feel like this season I did forget it, and then I started rewatching reactors, watching from the beginning, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then the comments too. So I think some reactors you can give. I mean, well, I only watch Blind Wave, so but like I feel like it's something that I mean, I'm just defending myself here too. But yeah, no, I get it. In season 1 it is explained, and then I feel like it's just something that you can forget, just because I think you take that fact for granted, because of the miracle fluid. But without miracle fluid, it's like, yeah, they have to be conscious, and I loved how they played with that. But fantastic episode. But yeah, I feel like that is a thing. I think a lot of people. I'm interested to see Blind Wave reactions to season 4. They haven't started it yet. I hope they do it sooner rather than later. But I'm interested to see if they remember or if they'll also forget. But yeah, thank you guys, Alex and Evie. Thank you guys for your comments and for continuing the discussion. If you guys want to join in on the discussion, leave your comments either in YouTube or join the Discord. Link in the description below. And yeah, subscribe, like, do all the stuff. I'll be back next week for more Dr. Stone. Oh, this episode got me smiling. I love when shows can do that. I feel like Dr. Stone is just one of those shows. Maybe I think early My Hero Academia can do this to me too, but Dr. Stone is one of those shows that continuously just makes me smile. Like, it's such a good watch. It's such a good watch. I need more shows like Dr. Stone in my life. I need more shows that make me feel this good. I feel like there's so much that's there's a lot like that's kind of like, oh, it's so serious, or like this is a downer, it's depressing, but Dr. Stone, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. Even when I'm crying, I feel good. Oh, Byakuya. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, keep watching anime. Keep watching Dr. Stone. Thank you all. Alright, bye. I'm still smiling.